Hey, forget about your cousin. She's a hooah. Fucking brought filthy animal, that cunt. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, I got the right to talk, alright? Hey, don't you remember when America was like that? When we could just like say whatever the fuck we wanted and not care about what people felt about how we would say. Freedom of just talking. You know what I'm saying? Now it's not you cool to say things that hurt people's feelings. Oh, I'm sorry, I've hurt everybody's feelings at least once. I've repentance. I wish you'll forgive me if you've been offended. But still, your cousin, she's a wahoa, right? Hey, she's just like a bowling ball, always getting fingered by strangers and thrown out in the fucking gutter. Hooah. Anyway, she should really see somebody about that, because she's going to get the hippie, you know what I'm saying? Although there's drugs for that now, so let's talk about Carlo Robelli. I knew this guy, Carlo Robelli, his mother, she was a hooah too. Anyway, that's what they said. This is another name brand for Sam Ash. Store brand, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't like a real like Carlo Robelli, like in his little workshop at fucking Genoa. You know, Pinocchio, look at this, man. See this guitar? Oh, no, Pinocchio, put your pants back on, alright? Start to film this one again, guy. Listen, this is a bass guitar that I made myself, made the same wood that I made you, Pinocchio. This is correct, you know what I'm saying? And I can get it for you and your mother, who happens to be my table. Anyway, so it's really fucked up. It's had a lot of play wear, and the bridge has been fucking savagely busted off this fucking thing. Savagely busted off this thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, savage, man. Hey, man. Savage, man. You straight savage. I seen you over there. You look more savage than usual. You look kind of beastly. That's a beastly look, bro. You should really, really, really check yourself. Anyway, for the rest of you people, I just want to tell you that we're going to restore a bass this week. It's Carlo Robelli. It's main career. He's about 15 years old, 20 years old maybe. You know what I'm saying? It's probably some second generation person like saw like, you know, some kind of unplugged shit like that. I like to get an acoustic electric bass, man. And he played a lot. He realized it was not good after this broke. And it ended up at the swap meet. I'll tell you what happened, man. I'm going to tell you exactly the provenance, as they say in France. Check this out, man. I'm going to set up the scene. Scene, exterior, swap meet, right? Beginning of swap meet round. There's an old guy. This guy usually sets up this little table here. He's got all kinds of antique shit. He used to have all kinds of rare bottles, and I collect like local bottles and things like that. Hey, man, don't you judge me. I don't care what you say, right? Anyway, he'd have like the rare stuff. He might have been making these bottles in his basement. You know what I mean? Like, I've never heard of that bottle. And all the other people who collect bottles, flea market, like, he's got them again. You know what I mean? There are all kinds of rarities in there. We all go punch each other in the fucking mouth. Give me that bottle. Now nobody even cares about rare bottles anymore. It's like it was a fad amongst older people at swap meet. Hey, a little older. She's still a hooah. Anyway, so it was a mayhem down there. You know what I mean? In those days, but bottles aren't important anymore. So he's like sort of like trying to feed all the addictions of all the people. You know what I mean? Used to be the bottle man, people. You know what I mean? His little bottle thing dried up. So now he's like coming up with like instruments. You know what I mean? Like, I saw he had like a Mesa Boogie amplifier. I don't know how he got it. And I was like, yeah, and it was all broken and shit. I was like, so what do you want? It was an old one too. All being smooth, thinking maybe he doesn't know. He's like, yeah, well, I think it take about 3,500 for it. It's like, it's broken and shit. Like, it's broken and shit, bro. I see on the eBay machine, I could probably get a little bit more if I listed on there. We're down here to meet. I was like, fuck you. Yeah, but anyway, so there's one more early. I saw this on his table. And I was like, yeah, maybe he's feeling benevolent. You know what I'm saying? Some of us, even the hardest fucking piece of shit, sometimes feels benevolent. And I've given this guy thousands of dollars over the years of the swap meets for fucking things. Usually old bottle, man. I paid like $56, $70, $80 for some bottle one time. And it drove me mad, man. It was crazy. Anyway, really dirty, ugly. Definitely missing some stuff. It's going to be hard to get back into shape. Especially if it's got a battery door missing. That's not good. It's not good, Noriega. You're showing your cards like a man just keeping to your chest, right? And I was like, what about the battle instrumento? What's that, a cello or something? And I like the bass. Well, I think you go somewhere who knows what to do. The bass piece is kind of busted off there, bust the fuck off. I was like, what does he say? $70, $80, $100? You know what I mean? I'm just starting off the swap meet today, man. Fuck this guy, man. I'll go for a twin. $25? 20. So $20. Really? Only $20? Yeah. Well, you want to give me 25? So no. I don't want to give you anything, you jackhammer. I want you to give it to me, I gave him $20 for it. You know what I'm saying? He could have jacked me, too, if he wanted to, over that $5, because I misheard him. These are true stories, people. You should be thankful the provenance has been provided. Now, I'm going to flip you around. We're going to look at it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to cry a little about it. It looks like it's Korean. It's probably Samick. You know what I mean? This one making serious electronic now for Samash. Right? So, I want to show it to you. We'll look at it. We'll restore it. We'll play it. I don't know, man. We're going to enjoy it. Right? Together. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Robelli. I heard you called my wife a hoover. You better be careful of the things you say around town, because things are always connected to the people that you know in the laboratory. Some of them may be of danger to you and your artifacts. Look at this, man. There's wonton, egg roll, and egg drop. You know what I'm saying? Damage this fucking thing. Part of the actual guitar top. Oh, look at this. It's falling apart. The more I touch it. Unfortunately, we're missing one of these wooden ones. We're going to have to replace with plastic ones. So they're the only ones I can find in a cheap manner. We're going to have to unconnect this piezo. There's like sets that are only $2 though on AliExpress, man. They're like nuts and acoustic bass pegs. You know what I mean? But they're not made out of wood. That's what we're going to have to get, a set like that. Has no, I don't know if it's matte by purpose. We have to read the description. It's so dirty. Hey man, after the show, man, I just pissed on my guitar, man. I was drunk, man. I just pissed right on it. I was just trying to aim inside the hole, man. But I got on this part, man. I was just pissed, man. I was drinking Coors Light, so it's not really that much other than water, bro. Keystone, man. Keystone and ice. Coors Light, same beverage. I'm pretty convinced. Anyway, man, it's real dirty. It's got most of its stickers. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's Korean, man. It's a good one. You know what I'm saying? Now I know it's Korean. I'm kind of proud to be, Korean. So let's take these strings off and take these off and put them somewhere. And then we'll go into the laboratory and take this piezo off and try to disconnect this bridge and free it like a tooth that's dangling. Dangling by its filament there, Noriega. We might as well take it out. You're trying to be a hero. We're not going to be able to save the tooth anyway. See you in the laboratory. Hey, Robelli, all right? Stop talking about people. We all listening really very closely in the laboratory. So welcome back to the laboratory. Acoustic bass. Got the strings taken off, stashed away. We got the bridge pins. You know what I mean? All lit up now for your love and appreciation. We just got to really disconnect this little cable here. You see that little plug? See that plug? We just unplug that. We just pull this little piezo cable. Everything looks like it works, man. I stuck a battery in there. We'll be all right, man. I think we'll be straight, man. We got everything. You know what I'm saying? Except for one of these, so I ordered a new set. Anyway, let's get this guy, the piezo removed, man. Right? And then we'll just take a look at the damage. Figure out. It's probably just going to clean it up a little bit and glue it back down, right? So we got to do, Hoss. Maybe put a little piece of wood behind it. Drill it out again. See once we've removed the pickup. Like no real problem, man. We had to pull this. This guy was connected to the body with one of these old boys. I got a whole bunch of these in the drawer because I restored a couple ovations in my time. You know what I'm saying? An ovationary sidekicks, right? So this has to be sort of, if you really like, if you jigsaw it and you mess around with it, you can get it sort of sitting down almost sort of flat, but still wobbling around. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove enough of this wood, but not all of it, because we don't want a whole, that's a lot of, material that got taken off in the middle there. We don't want that all to be just glue or Bondo or whatever our intention is. Then we'll glue a piece of wood behind this, right? Yeah, we've got plenty of space back here. And, that's perfect. And then that will sort of be, we'll be good. So, let's start like sanding this down a little bit, man. Sanding it down just enough so it sits down on this perfectly without, like being too wobblesome. And then we'll glue this down immediately. We'll get this back to structural 135%. And then we'll work on the other stuff, electronicals and all sort of stuff. Ready? One, hey, just a little off the top. Now we don't want to take too much of this wood off of the back of this bridge here because, that's pretty much the guitar's top, right? And the more wood we take off of here, the more, fake wood we have to put in here to build this up. And we'd rather have real wood than fake wood, right? So we just took off enough so that when we put it in this little place, we push down real hard. And there's no noticeable gap. It looks good. It feels good. You know what I'm saying? Nothing sticking up. And it's not that hard to get it down. So we got it to that point. Now, how are we to clamp it down? I got one of these guys a little while ago. I originally saw this is like a self-clamping bridge clamp. These pins go into the bridge pin holes. The hole for string 6 and string 1. And then we were able to screw it up from the top. Tighten it and screw it down, to hold the edges of the thing. Now, I originally saw one of these on Stu Mac, I don't know, 10 years ago, and they wanted like $70 for it or whatever they wanted. So I was like, you know what I mean? And then I saw about 4 or 5 years ago for $20, this Hunjin Music was making them. But I had a problem with Mr. Hunjin because he sent me a defective item, and I, got my money back for AliExpress. And he blocked me on every, platform. I couldn't buy it on eBay. I couldn't buy it on AliExpress. He's like, fuck, he's American. So I finally got it now that he either forgot about me or everybody's selling it now. I don't know, what I mean? We can get it for like $10 now. I initially got it just to use to when I clamped it traditionally with a U-clamp, you know what I'm saying? Like a deep U. But I think I might use it for what it's intended for. Now, because these probably would sail right on through these holes here, because they're so big, we went and looked for some big washers. I got even bigger ones over here if I need them. You know what I'm saying? To go behind there so they don't escape through. So we're going to put a lot of glue on this. A lot of glue on this. And we're just going to press it down. In between these washers and, the actual thing, we're going to put a little tiny piece of wax paper so it doesn't stick to it from the bottom. It would be terrible to glue the thing sticking up there. Oh, 2-string bass. I see what you're doing, Mr. Guitkits. Good job. So, let's clamp this guy up. It's going to look good. It's going to be fine. We'll be happy. And if it doesn't work out, we'll just screw this motherfucker down here. You know what I mean? This is attempt 1, right? Yeah, screw it down, man. Screw it fucking down. Nobody even care. You know what I mean? Carlo Robelli won't care. Right? He's too busy concerned with Pinocchio. See when we've been clamped. Alright, so it's all clamped up. This side, there's like a big piece of wood, bracing that goes right between 2 of the holes. Is ridiculous the way this thing was built. Like a fool, man. That's why it fucking fell apart. Ridiculous Carlo Robelli engineer. Hey, I'm more worried about the puppet, man. Anyway, this is supposedly tight. I don't know if I trust this thing either. Seems a little wonky and wacky and cheesy. But we'll see, man. Right? We'll see. Give it 24 hours. and we'll check it. Right? All right, so it's about 23 and a half hours. Almost a whole day, man. Now, I wanted this thing to fail, you know what I mean? I wanted to do a bad job just because the way Holmes and, you know what I mean, blacklisted me in the AliExpress world. But actually, you know what I mean, it's actually pretty good. I mean, there's a little bit of space here. I don't know if that's my fault or the contraption's fault, but... And the thing that's cool about it is you can monitor your progress. Like sometimes you get all clamped up. You can't really see it too well till the next day, and you're like, oh, you know. Oh, I fucked it up. And that's already too late, you know. So I wanted it to fail. It didn't fail. Looks like it did an alright job. Let's take off the clamp. Let's take a better look to see, you know what I mean? I was speaking too soon, Charles. So here's the rub. This thing is glued solid in there, man. The big washer I have is like in blocking half of this fucking hole too. It's like glued solid, and that little washer from the actual manufacturer's in there too, stuck in there. You can see it's all got glue all over the place, man. So it kind of does suck a little bit of fucking ass, man. What a bunch of bullshit. So I'm gonna get a little camera and just tap this down. Try it without, you know what I mean, damaging or disrupting that new glue set. You know what I'm saying? What a bunch of bullshit. Have to manhandle it. Alright. See all that. Now we're gonna have to get these guys out of here. One of them. We get the other little ones out of there with a little tap hammer. Huh? Wait a minute. Alright, so we got everything out of there. You know what I mean? We were able to recover every piece from the bridge. Looks alright. I was going to put a piece of wood behind here, but it's so bizarre back there. I don't even know if I'm going to bother. One thing I did notice, though, is that the glue is still quite wet. We put a lot of it on there. And once it hardens, it's going to be great, but it's not anywhere near being hard. So we're going to have to give it another, like, 3 or 4 days just to make sure it's all right. Now, let's talk about this, man, because this has been perplexing me, you know what I mean, for quite some time now. I'll put it up here so we can see it correctly. Now, this little hole here, there's a battery door that goes in there, man. So I looked on the internet, like, hey, what kind of battery door is it? So I bought one off AliExpress. You can buy that kind of stuff. Because I saw on Reverb a good picture of one of these used or whatever, and this is the exact same type that was on there, man. And it came in. I was like, yes, you know what I mean? What? Did not go in. I was like, what? Fucker. So I was like, that's not cool, man. So I went to AliExpress. I bought every other one I could possibly be. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, maybe it was something in a different size for this one. This guy comes in the old mail, right? And I was like, all right, maybe, right? And I was like, doesn't even fit in there, man. Motherfucker. And then I was like, well, this is a long shot, but it was only like, you know what I mean, $1, $2. So I throw away my money. And see how it's got a little thing in there? It's got everything like contained. Maybe we just take this guy out, right? And I can be like, right? Right? I was like, oh, this is gonna be it. Right? It's square shaped, you know what I mean? We're like, I was like, it does not fit, man. It's like it doesn't even go in there, man. So back to where we started out, the original one, which is the one it looks like. It almost makes it in there, like, you know what I'm saying? So let's like shave off a little bit off of this guy. Shave off a little on this side, you know what I'm saying? Just shave him down a little bit, right, Charles? Let's see if we can get him in there perfectly. See in a minute. Alright, so we scuffed the edges off on the back here a little bit. Brand new battery. Right? Brand spanking new battery. Right from Dollar Tree, man. This is it, man. I plugged in the little piezo pickup. A little hint if you're trying to test these out. Piezo pickup's not hooked up. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work, people. Ready? Never get it out again. Let's hope it works, right? Let's see. Oh, there it is. So our electronics are alive, man. Electronics are alive, man. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that a crazy thing? Beautiful. So let's just wait for that to dry out, and then we'll start cleaning this guy off a little bit, right? Cleaning him and customizing him. Let's unplug this guy real quick. Alright, so we cleaned it off with some furniture polish. Hey, man, a little bit dripping down my pant leg, man. And we used a couple little pieces of magic erase sponge to get all like the paint splotches, you know what I mean? Hit the molding of the doorway, and I got some white paint on my guitar. Always happens with these guitars, man. Just these big fucking boys, man. This is a big ass guitar. It's a huge instrument. Now, in the 90s, this whole matte thing was cool, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like not really supposed to be too sheeny, shiny, and smooth. It's just supposed to be like, you know, there. I had I believe it was an Ibanez acoustic guitar, classical guitar actually. It had this sort of finish on it, and you got a little bit of grease on it, and that ruins the finish. But luckily, it was real dirty, and most of the grease came off with the dirt. Grease coming out with your dirt. Now, this was really hard to clean this crap off. We used magic erase sponge. We just let it set on there. It got it pretty good. The thing about these little, you know, fretboards are they are already finished. They're already like sealed, finished with something. So I mean, it's like a double-headed sword. I mean, are we going to try to do our little trick with the mineral oil and the steel wool and everything on here? Yes, we are. Why? I like to do it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's already greasy and it's already finished and it might mess that up, I kind of want to do it just so I could put the wax on it. You know what I mean? And actually have it feel good when it's playing. You know what I'm saying? I like to sacrifice looks over comfort. You know what I'm saying? So we're take a little bit of steel wool, work a little bit of mineral oil in here, and I'll see when we're all greased out, man. I used to say greased up. I'm going to say greased out for this episode. It's going to be kind of greasy sentimentality. There it is, man. All greased up, man. I mean, greased out. Sorry about that. Forgetting my own rule. Plus, this gets a little tiny bit of crap that we couldn't get real close to the frets and kind of polishes the frets a little bit, too. A little bit of mineral oil, man. A little bit of ass grease, man. Just work it in there. So we'll let this set about a half hour or so. I mean, not too long because we already know we're not going to get too much sheen from the shine, but we're going to try to get a little bit more comfortable playing, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to be a comfortable guy. So I'll see you in about a half hour, right? Maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter. See that. Alright, just to prove my previous point, actually had some shit come up. I had to step away for about an hour and 10 minutes, and none of this stuff has seeped in at all. See that? You know what that means? It means that that finish on the rosewood fretboard is still good, so we'll just wipe this off, and we're going to continue with our process. Right? See you in a minute. Alright, so we got all that excess wiped off, as you can see. The grease actually has polished up the half-ass finish that old Carlo Robelli put on his fretboard in New York. That's New York, Korea, not New York, New York. Don't get it confused. There's two New Yorks. Oh, it's south of Beijing. We don't have Chinatown, though. We have Koreatown. So, this is Harold Forged. Harold, you been forging? Yeah, I forge all kinds of shit, man. I forged your name on this document, giving me the rights. This is an angle wrench from the Empire of Japan. Now, my grandfather died about 20 years ago. Just coincided with the fact that I purchased this property. And I got all his tools. Most of his good tools were taken by my cousin Mark. But I mean, I got all the other auxiliary tools. And I remember I was outside fixing something with this in like 2004. You know what I mean? Like just fixing something in the backyard. And it went missing. And like the year 2017 or 18, I was out in the same place fixing the same damn thing again under the deck. And I reached up on the thing. I was like, where'd I put that screwdriver? And there was a screwdriver I brought out with me, and there was this thing. It was still there. It was a little bit rusty, but it's still working, man. Harold forged a good note. Anyway, after that long story, we're going to use that to tighten these. Are all like real helter-skelter loose. There's some screws in the back, too. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what a screw is, bro. You're screwed up, man. screw those screws in, make sure they're all tight, make sure these are all, you know what I'm saying, man, loosey-goosey, man. They're all fucked up. See after we've rectified that. All right, look at that. Sturdy, man. All from that old Harold Forge bullshit, man. So, we're getting close now, folks. We're not going to kill ourselves on the cosmetics with this. We're not even going to put any wax on the body of it because, I mean, this is that flat stuff I was talking about. And after like 3 or 4 days after I put that pledge on it, which has been now, it seems to be a little bit, you know what I mean, original feeling again, you know what I'm saying? There's no sheen to it. It's just pure matte, which is what we're liking, right? But I want to touch up this. There's like a little tiny edge right here. Some furniture marker. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's a little piece over here too. Just those things that we can do, you know what I mean, without being too, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not being too direct, am I? I like to come on a little bit less strong than this. What's that? It's a mess. See when we're all corrected. Correct it, man. Correct it, Curtis. Curtis, you must be correct. And now you've been corrected, Curtis. You know what I'm saying? You correct as they come. A little bit of black, a little bit of brown. You know what I'm saying? I'm an international man. I like to sample all kind of cuisine. You know what I'm saying? A little black, a little brown, eh? And when I say cuisine, I mean poontang. You know what I'm saying, guys? That's what I'm talking about. I'm internationally known with all kinds of broads. It looks a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Internationally known, man. House of Pancakes. So, we have this thing that we've removed. Remember this old little zip tie? Hey, man, I got a zip tie attached to me. This is the old, you know, anything that's stuck to the thing, and this is all the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? We can see that the box is in there ready for his little plug. Hey, man, plug me in. And there's the other cable. But how are we going to... This is all broken, you know what I mean? Well, it just so happens that I have one from an Ovation set that I got. Or some kind of set that I got. I don't even know. Zip tie's the same size, but the box is quite bigger. It's got some brand new adhesive, man. Hey, man. That's like, you know what I mean, $40 an ounce, man. That's the cheap stuff this week, but next week, probably be 50. Anyway, let's reassemble this. You know what I'm saying? In a friendly way. This is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. You don't want to damage the pickup. Let's do it. I'll see you then. So it works. It works. It works. Put the battery in there and brought over the amp. Boom, boom, boom. Works, man. Taps out. Got the wires all secured correctly. Can't even see them. They're like phantom wires now. Needed to use the flashlight. Sort of shine through those holes. We got to feed it this way. When we brought the piezo back out, you don't want to stick it down. You want to feed it up. That's the trick, man. You want to use the light to sort of see this hole, and then you can see your hand underneath, like, oh, where is it? And then you find it. Put it right up, man. So it works. We're good. We're going to set this guy aside for 3 or 4 more days. I want to make sure this is totally, like, at least a week's time, because the whole middle of this is all just like, you know what I mean, particle board almost, because it's like glue and wood and glue and wood. It's mostly wood, but there's lots of glue in there that we put in there. It's probably dry by now, but safer than sorry, right? We all, you know, we're certain that everything works on this guy. We don't want to ruin it now, you know what I'm saying? So let's wait a couple more days, and then we'll get it all ready for you. I'll see you then. Hey, man, just because I'm a Dollar Tree battery, man, doesn't mean you can judge me, bro. So here we are. It's been about 4 days. Just taking it peaceful like the summertime. This conclusionary chapter of our base month. Now, this is dried out, and this glue is dry now, for the most part. So let's put a little bit of paste wax on this and this. That's it. We're not going to put anything else on anything else, because this is supposed to be like a matte finish. And that's just the vibe they're going for, man. Hey, man, that's just my vibe, man. Can't you just accept it, man? So, I'll see you when we've just done a little bit of pasting, a little bit of waxing. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, I deserve that, man. I deserve that. You know what I mean? I went to community college for 7 years. I deserve that. So, we got this big jumble of strings here, and we got 1, 2, 3 still. That kind of sucks, right? Looks like we're going to be playing a 3-string bass, but I'm just kidding, man. Got this from China. Look, it comes with a free nut, too, man. Hey, man. Free nut? What's that? Nut on who? What? So, these are plastic, right? But about the same size. A little bit shorter, but I mean, width-wise, they're girth-wise. Their heads are a little smaller, too. Not as attractive. You know what I'm saying? They just don't sell these, man. I just couldn't find them for a cheap price. You know what I'm saying? This was, I don't know, $3, $2, something like that. So I could save these, stick them in the there's guitar pins, old wooden guitar pins, or I can just put them in the drawer in case I get another acoustic bass, right? Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man, we'll plug that in, string this up, and I'm going to see you for the glamour shots. Oh, 1, 2. And there it is. Jeez, that's a big boy. It's like falling off the table, man. Not too bad. You know what I'm saying? Not too bad. It came out okay. You know what I'm saying? It's got these copper strings, too. Hey, just focus on Carlo, man. The copper strings, I've always say, they sound like an acoustic guitar should. So that's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? We're like great minds and we're fucking thinking alike. You know what I'm saying? We're thinking alike each other. I don't like you, you don't like me. But we both like Korean instruments. It's kind of banged up a little bit, but hey, man, you know what I'm saying? An acoustic bass to conclude bass month. You know what I'm saying? So let's hear it. You know what I'm saying? What have you come to expect from bass month? You know what I'm saying? What have you come to expect here in Guitkit Land from bass month? Let's hear it, and then we'll say, peace be with you. Look after yourself, Paisan. Peace be with you forever. And here he is again, our friend Bass Mall, for the conclusion of our bass month. There you go, man. I'm celebrating 30 years of friendship with this guy right here, man. This might be the last time I ever see him. I haven't seen this motherfucker in 3 years. I appreciate you, Bass Mark. I love you, man. Peace be with you. Enjoy your journey, brother.